I guess moving into a different direction, part of the reason why I became quite interested in UBI is I read a couple of books about AI and how society, the fabric of society, probably is going to change quite a lot in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Are there any industries that come to mind which you think are in big trouble where a UBI might even be essential?
US example that's often used is long distance truck driving,
Yeah.
which last time I saw the stats was still the main source of employment for white men in something like 30 of the US states. You know, it's a significant industry, and also it's almost a significant way of life in terms of the participation. Now, as an industry that could very quickly be automated, with driverless vehicles, particularly in American context where many of them are driving, huge distances along straight roads.
Yeah.
You can see how that very quickly could be a significant source of job losses for part of the population who maybe would struggle to move into other sectors. But interestingly, alongside the trucks themselves, actually you can automate most of the kind of control of the whole system as well. So Uber, we're moving into actually managing, long distance haulage, because actually you don't need 100 staff anymore. You can run it with algorithms and so on. I think what's going to be really disruptive about AI and automation and the kind of new industrial revolution that we're seeing is I think it will impact far wider across society and jobs than maybe other industrial revolutions that have been more focused on, heavy industry losing out. Actually, for lots of society, we didn't really get affected. Therefore, it was easier to ignore those communities that were impacted. You can look at significant parts of the legal profession and say it would be a lot cheaper and more efficient to have, an AI running that. You can look at aspects within medicine where AI can be brought in and new robotics and other areas. Now, again, people who are lawyers and doctors tend to be in a much stronger, more resilient economic, social, educational perspective to move into other opportunities or to seize the opportunities that AI offers. But I think the disruption will be more widespread, and therefore I think it will have an impact. For me, where I've been concerned with some of the focus around AI is, or that is the kind of motivation, is that there's been particularly in the US, a kind of idea of there's going to be no work in future.
Yeah.
Robots and AI are going to take over the world, and we're all going to be sitting around bored. And if anything, someone like Elon Musk, who always comes across a bit like a bad Bond villain, I think he's aware that he's introducing ideas and products that are going to take away people's jobs, and there may be a negative backlash. So a basic income is almost a bit of a kind of way of keeping people from your door with pitchforks.